Hello, Retromoviegirl fans. Today I have for you yet another episode Choose Your Own Story review, and this time it is a story called A Guide to Being a Wife. It's the story of Carla. Carla has a fairly big family. Her brother, her mother, and her sister-in-law, and the daughter they have. So she has a relatively large family. Anyway, they say they want to go on, her brother and his wife and their daughter want to go on a cruise, but they need a fourth. They invite her mother first, but her mother says that she can't leave their grandmother, who's currently ill. So Carla comes up with a brilliant idea. She decides to put it on Facebook and see what happens. Invite, a friend from Facebook that she doesn't really know. It's kind of like, all expenses paid because they've already paid for the trip. The thing is, you have to get 4 people to go with you, and it will be all expenses paid. So Carla goes through a bunch of different, posts saying that they're interested in the trip, but some of them have kids and they want an extra space, or some of them, other people want to invite friends on this trip that they might go on, and it's just a big old mess. You'll see some of these posts when you read the story. But Carla is a hopeless romantic, and she runs into Jordan on this Facebook type social media thing. She runs into Jordan, and Jordan is a lawyer. He works in some sort of bank law, and he's working a very boring case about stolen garlic. So his friend, who's also his co-worker, tells him, "Your life is very boring, all you do is work, blah, 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 and you need some spontaneity in your life." So, on a whim, Jordan decides to respond to Carla's ad on this Facebook type app. They get to know each other, but it's kind of like, love on vacation. It's very short and they share very little. But in the interest of spontaneity and the fact that they fall in love, now they decide to get married. But Carla is hoping for forever, happily ever after, blah, blah, blah. Jordan wants to do something spontaneous, which doesn't really mix. Because Carla has this idea that her parents' marriage was perfect, and she wants the same kind of love that her parents had. If your parents are still married, you might want the same thing that they have or had if they're no longer alive. But in the spirit of that, Carla decides to get married, and there are all sorts of things like they can't agree on whether to have kids or not. When is the right time to have the kid, and blah, 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 and there's a lot of difficulties. There's Jordan's work. He got promoted at work and spends a lot more time there than he anticipated, but it was a promotion, but he's almost never home. Carla doesn't cook, so you get a chance to see what the intricacies are like for them in the story, what the intricacies are like, what their thoughts are, how different their families are. For example, Jordan's mother feels trapped in their marriage, and his father isn't very nice, and his father thought that he would take over his law practice instead of going into the law practice where he went. He ended up, not taking over his father's business, which made his father very angry and resentful. As a matter of fact, he's not even allowed to go to his parents' house. But Carla, on the other hand, has this fantasy about her father traveling all over the place and getting lost when he traveled and not coming back to the family. But the truth is eventually revealed during an argument, and it's like, I felt that the story was like, it was very dramatic, but at its heart, it's a love story. So eventually things do come full circle, but that's all I could say about it. I'll put the author's Instagram in the video, as I always do, so you can visit her on Instagram. She has a bunch of stories, but I'm not too sure if she's really active on IG, so I just want to warn you about that. But other than that, the story is terrific. It's full of drama. It gives the what people might be going through in real life if you just met somebody and married them. For example, there's this, I think it's Lifetime, Love at First Sight, where you marry somebody that you just met and you stay married for like a year. Some of these relationships have been successful, some of them have been in the toilet, kind of like The Bachelor. It doesn't have a bad track record, but it's not the best. It's not 100%. It's kind of like hit and miss. So you'll think of The Bachelorette, or not really The Bachelorette, because The Bachelorette has had some success stories, but you'll think of The Bachelor when you read this story, because you don't know them for a very long period of time, but you do get to know them as the story goes on, and you'll see that they have the difficulties, but I really enjoyed the story, and I hope that you will get a chance to play it. And like I said, I'll leave her IG in this video for you to visit and read some of her other stories. They're very interesting. I've only read this one, but feel free to peruse her profile on episode, and I'll talk to you very soon in my very next video. Bye.